Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. When we think about Chanel, I feel like we think about these two bags. They are the most iconic from the brand. I get so many of you asking me, I'm gonna buy my first Chanel, which one should I get? I think for most of us, we want to buy something that we love and we're gonna get pleasure out of. And also, if we ever choose to sell it, we all want something that's going to appreciate in value. And trust me, when it comes to bags, if you pick the right brand and if you pick the right color, the right style and the right size, you can actually make money on it. And I'm living proof of that because that's what I do on the side for a bit of fun. If you're thinking of getting either one of these, I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of both, about the price differences, about if you're going to get one, ideally what size should you get it in that is best for aftermarket resale. I'm going to start with the classic flap. This bag has been around for over 30 years. If I had to buy only one and I wanted something that I knew I could sell in the future and get definitely more money than I paid, I would go for this. The boy bag also commands a really high after sale price. The price I've seen varies not just on the condition of the bag but also of the colour of it. When I've looked to buy a classic flap before, the ones that seem to make the most money are the vintage ones that have got the real gold plate on them, but predominantly they don't tend to be in bright colours. They're in black and they're either in lambskin or caviar with silver or gold hardware. That seems to be a different story with the boy bag, and certainly in my experience, although I've got this, which is the classic black with gold, I've got one at the moment that is iridescent gold in caviar, and I had one previously that I got from a cruise collection and it was the iridescent purple with the oil slick metal. I don't know if it's because the boy bag has got a generally more youthful appeal to it. If you look at these secondhand, the ones that are in good condition and they're in fun colours tend to sell more than the ones that are in a black. So that's one thing to consider if you are only thinking about long-term future value. If you're going to get a classic flap, I think get it in black. If you're going to get the boy, by all means get it in black if that's what you're into. But if you're thinking about a longer term thing, then I would actually keep an eye out on the cruise collections that come out around about now. They're the end of November. You can very often get these in some really fun finishes and colours, and in my experience they sell better and for a lot more than this classic colour does. I'm going to talk about wear and tear now, and there is a definite difference in the leather that you pick. The caviar is a lot more hard wearing and it doesn't scuff so much. You still have to be careful with it. The lambskin, on the other hand, I actually prefer the look of the lambskin. I like the fact that it's got that matte appearance to it, but it is very, very delicate. And particularly on the boy bag, I feel it's a bad material for this bag because the boy has got such sharp corners on it. They're the first things to go. You can't even help it. Additionally, in this bag, even in the other leathers that I've had this bag in all of them, because you've got one open compartment inside as opposed to a more structured put together thing, the boy bags are prone to getting a saggy bottom. And on this one, I think you can see it. Can you see that it's ended up pinched in? The reason for that is because this isn't reinforced and it's completely squishy. When you put anything in here, it has a propensity to roll to the center of the bag. But even then, because of this latch here that does the bag up, when you're wearing it, particularly I've noticed, I try and stop myself, but it's really hard. When you're in a shop and you've got people behind you and you've got to quickly close your bag, the easy thing to do is to pinch it like that and to snap it closed. Every time you do that, that bit gives. So imagine that you're wearing it crossbody, you push the bag down to close it, because who's really got the time to like twist that and close it? That is also another problem when you wear it over one shoulder, is that when you hold it tight to you and you've got your elbow in to hold it secure, your arm further squeezes the bag. If you don't care too much about the size that you buy in, maybe you're not planning on using it at all, or maybe you're going to use it but just a little bit. If you wonder, does size matter when it comes to after sale? I actually think it does. I've noticed that the medium bags seem to go for more because they've still got that cutesy small appearance to them and they're not quite as big as this. I'm going to compare it now. So this is a larger size and this is the medium. The small size is, as you can imagine, smaller than this. The small size is good, but it's a bit too small to work with. And I've definitely noticed when I've looked up these bags on Vestiaire Collective that the medium tends to be the best all-rounder. So try and get something that's in that medium size. You can still work with it. In fact, you can see what I was talking about there, where the bag ends up getting squeezed in. This is a new version that I've not used, and then you can see how this one's ended up a bit like a squished pancake. Wear and tear on this classic flap has actually been a lot better than with the boy. Now, albeit this has had less wear than the boy bag has. But one of the most noticeable things are that because the bag's quite structured on the inside and has loads of different compartments in it, it means that your items, when you put them in, are a lot more evenly spread. It does depend on the leather. One of my friends has got this in the lambskin, and she's got it in an older style that came out in 2009 from memory. Because it's in the lambskin, the base of hers has sagged a bit. But in this one, I don't know whether they've updated it, but I'm gonna give you an example here. You know on the boy bag, how it's squidged down really easily? On this, I'm pressing really hard and it doesn't squeeze at all. So the base of it really holds its own. The caviar wears completely differently as well. The lambskin just scratches straight up. The caviar doesn't. It almost sort of wears, and the caviar lumps, that I'm gonna call them, as you can see, start to wear and go a bit smooth. And finally, size. If you're thinking that the classic flap might be the direction that you wanna go in, and you're wondering about size as well, you can get this in, I think, 4 different sizes from memory. You can get a mini flap, which looks like this. You can either get this in square or in a rectangle. I got this from a cruise collection, which is why it's in a crazy color. You can also get it in small, medium, and then this is large. Large is classically known as the jumbo. When I bought this, at the time, I thought the jumbo was its own thing, but it's not. It's basically the large. There is also one size above this that is called the maxi. It's quite a bit bigger. I nearly got that because I like that oversized look, but I was recommended to get this at the time because the maxi has got a smaller audience of people that would want to wear it and would want to buy it because it is so much bigger. Whether you're tall or whether you're more petite, anyone, I believe, could carry off the jumbo size because it's the perfect balance between not too big and not too medium sized. You can get a lot of stuff in it, but it won't drown you. So if you're thinking of a size to get, personally, I would look at the large size and the medium. These are cutesy. I just think they're too small to really do anything with, and also the chains on these are weird. With this, you can wear it crossbody, over one shoulder, or if you have a newer bag, because the leather's still quite stiff, I like to tuck the chain in and then I'll just carry it like that by the top handle. On the mini, you can't really do anything with it. You could carry it like that, but really it's best for over one shoulder because the chain, I don't know why, but the chain on this is a really awkward length and it sits really weird. It doesn't sit on the hip, it's like at waist height, which just feels weird. I really think that if you're going to spend this amount of money on one of these bags, that unless money is no object, I think that going for one of these two designs is probably the smartest thing you can do. I do want to add that the price of the boy bag when I bought it in 2014 was £2,400. It's now £3,600 from memory in that size. Also, this bag, when I first saw this and I first wanted it in 2007, it was like £1,800. It's now £4,400. And there's gonna be a price increase. There always is, every November. It's normally about 10%, although I've heard that it could be anywhere between 15 and 20% this year. So if you're thinking of making a purchase, always do it before November. I mean, it's no bad thing because whatever you pay, it's only gonna go up from there. So from that point of view, it's all good. But obviously you want to save as much as possible, so now is the time. I'm just going to show you what I'm wearing. So I've got on this top. There is an Instagram account that I always shop from and it was really inexpensive. I've had to lighten the camera, by the way, because this room's quite dark. In real life it's like a cranberry tone, and then I'm wearing it just with plain dark jeans and then a pair of these shoes. These are the most comfortable shoes you'll ever get from Christian Louboutin. I'm wearing them to death at the moment. The bracelets that I'm wearing are just these two, all three. I always wear them. I'll link to them below. The 2 pearl bracelets, very inexpensive. I got these from Etsy and they're real pearls with silver. My watch is from Jord. I've got a few of these and I'm wearing the one today that's black with gold